शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Namaste. We will now see the meanings of the namas in verse 37 of Shri Vishnu Sahasranama based on the commentary of Shri Shankaracharya. Now, the 37th verse. Ashokastaranastaraha Shurashaurirjaneshwaraha Anukulashatavartaha Padmi Padmanibhekshanaha. The namas herein are Ashokaha, Taranaha, Taraha, Shuraha, Shaurihi, Janeshwaraha, Anukulaha, Shatavartaha, Padmi, Padmanibhekshanaha. There are 10 namas in this verse. We will take up one by one. Ashokaha, Shokadi Shadurmi Varjitaha. The one who is free from the 6 waves like sorrow, etc. So, Ashokaha, it is made up of 2 components, na, a and shoka. So, shoka is sorrow and na shokaha yasmin. So, the one in which sorrow is not present. Acharya here adds that Shoka and 6 other Urmis, the one who is not afflicted or the one in whom these 6 are not there, which includes or which begins from Shoka. So Shad Urmis. So Urmi is waves. So Shad Urmis, 6 waves. So the 6 waves in the Samsara Sagara, the trouble, a Jivatman. So these do not exist for the Paramatman Bhagavan Narayana. Now, what are the other components in the Shadurmis along with Shoka? In the commentary to Viveka Chudamani by Shri Chandrasekhara Bharati Swamiji, in the verse 257 commentary, we see the entire list of the 6 Urmis. Pipasa, thirst. Kshudha, pangs of hunger. Shoka, sorrow. Moha, temptation, infatuation, delusion. Jara, old age. And 6th is Mrityu, death. So these are the Shad Urmis or the 6 waves in the Samsara Sagara that trouble a Jivatman and Paramatman, not bound by the Samsara. So he is free from the Shadurmis, hence he is Ashokaha. The second nama is Taranaha, Samsara Sagarat Tarayatiti, the one who helps cross the ocean of worldly life. Taranaha, Tarayatiti Taranaha, the one who helps cross is Tarana. Cross what? Cross Samsara Sagara, the great ocean of the worldly life. Previously, it was mentioned that the Paramatman is not afflicted by the waves of the Samsara Sagara, the Shadurmis, and hence he is helping, not being afflicted by the waves of Samsara Sagara. He helps the Jivatmans who are dedicated, devoted to him to cross the samsara sagara. Hence, he is glorified as Taranaha. The third term is Taraha. Garbha, Janma, Jara, Mrityu Lakshanad, Bhayat, Tarayatiti, Taraha. the one who helps cross the fear of stay in the womb, birth, aging, and death. So this is a similar nama to that of Taranaha. Previously, the samsara was portrayed as a samsara sagara. Now here, the samsara is compared to a bhaya, a great fear. So what is the nature of the fear? Garbha, again entering the womb. Punarapi jananam. So entering the womb of the mother. So which is the starting point of rebirth. So from there, again janma, birth, and then jara, aging, and mrityuhu, finally death. So this is the samsara bhaya. So the one who helps cross the fear of the samsara. So he is Taraha, the one who helps cross the fear of samsara. The fourth term is Shuraha, Vikramanat Shuraha. So the one who crosses, or the one who is valorous. The term Shura simply means the one who is full of valor. So how is the valor of Paramatman? We see Vikramanat. So by his three steps, by his three valorous steps in the Vamana Avatara, we see that he measured the entire creation. So by that Vikramana, by the three great steps, we see the great valor of the Paramatman. And Vikramana can also be taken as the various Vikrama or the various valorous deeds of Bhagavan Narayana in his various avatars. Hence, he is glorified as Shuraha. The fifth term is Shaurihi. Shurasyapatyam. Vasudevasya sutaha. The progeny of Shura, son of Vasudeva. So Shauri is derived from Shura. So Shurasya apatyam. So apatyam is progeny. So Bhagavan Narayana in his Krishna Avatara is a progeny in the clan of Shura, Shura Kula. So Shura is the grandfather. And then Shura's son is Vasudeva. And Vasudeva's son is Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Hence, the one who is born in the family of Shura, Shurasya Apatyam, and who was the son of Vasudeva. Hence, he is glorified as Shaurihi. So, having Shura as his grandfather, Bhagavan Narayana in his Krishna Avatara is called as Shaurihi. The sixth term is Janeshwaraha. Jananam, Jantunam, Ishwaraha, the Lord of all beings. So Janeshwaraha is made up of Jana, Ishwara. Ishwara, Lord. Jana generally means the people. But in the commentary, Acharya says, Jananam, Jantunam. So all the beings, Jantu, the beings. So the one who is the Lord of all the beings is Janeshwaraha. The seventh term is Anukulaha. आत्मत्वेन हि सर्वेषाम् अनुकूलः न हि स्वस्मिन् प्रातिकूल्यं स्वयं आचरति. Being the self of everyone, the one who is beneficial or the one who is conducive, one never acts in a detrimental way for oneself. So this is a very interesting term, Anukula. Anukula is a very common term that's known to everyone. Anukula, that which is beneficial and that which is conducive. The Paramatman himself is glorified as Anukula because who is the most Anukula or most beneficial for oneself? Oneself is the most beneficial for oneself. Even the most close kith and kin may not think of one's well-being more than one's own self. So I am the most beneficial person for myself. Hence, Paramatma, who being the Atma, the self of every being, so he is Anukula because everyone is Anukula for oneself, and Paramatma is not different from one's own self. Hence, Atmatvena Sarvesham Anukulaha. So that is what is explained. Nahi swasmin pratikulyam swayam acharati. uh, no one would consider or doing things consider doing things which are detrimental to oneself. So he is always beneficial to all the beings. So it is an interesting interpretation to reflect upon, which indicates whatever happens, we have already seen that it is by the grace of the Paramatman. And who is the Paramatman? Paramatman, Lord Narayana, is not different from oneself. And also, one never does things which are not beneficial to oneself. So, Paramatman, whatever happens to a being happens only for the benefit, only for the welfare, good or bad. So, it happens by the grace of the Paramatman, and Paramatman will not act against the benefit or well being of himself. Hence, all the beings should take anything that is apparently good or bad is as finally beneficial only because everything happens by the grace of Paramatman, who is the self of each and every soul. Hence, this term Anukulaha, in a sense, teaches us as to how to take the various experiences we undergo in life. They may be good or bad, but everything happens by the grace of the Paramatman, who is doing only for the Anukula for the Jivatmans who are not different from his own self. So Anukulaha. The eighth term is Shatavartaha. धर्मत्राणाय शतमावर्तनानि प्रादुर्भावाः अस्येति. To protect dharma, the one who comes back, who incarnates for 100 times. Shatavartaha. There are a couple of interpretations to the term. So we see the first interpretation of the term Shatavartaha. Shata avarta. Avarta means coming back, returning. Shatavarta, the one who returns for 100 times. So the Paramatman returns to this loka, to the bhuloka 100 times. 100 just indicates the innumerable times. So the Paramatman who incarnates innumerable times, countless times by taking various avatars. Why does he do that? Dharmatranaya. To protect dharma, he takes hundreds of avatars to establish, to protect dharma. That's why in Bhagavad Gita also we see that Bhagavan Narayana, Lord Krishna, is called as Shashvata Dharma Gopta, the one who is the eternal protector of dharma. To protect the dharma, he again and again incarnates. So that is Shatavartaha, the first interpretation. The second interpretation is yogic in nature. We see Nadi Shate Pranarupena Vartata iti va, or the one who moves around in the 100 nadis in the form of prana. So, Shata Avarta. So, 100 movements. So, Avarta here is interpreted as moves, or the one who moves around. So, where does he move around? In the nadis. So, Paramatman in the form of prana, who exists, vartate, and moves around through the nadis, through the 100 nadis in the body. So, in the Upanishads, we see Shatanchaika cha hridayasya nadyah. So there are 101 nadis in this body. So 100 nadis, the 100 nadis that are there to uh, distribute the prana to various organs in the body. And then the 101st nadi is the Sushumna nadi, into which when the prana enters, a jivatman finally attains moksha. So in the 101 nadis, the one who moves around as prana for the sustenance of the jivatman, he is also Shatavartaha. The ninth term is Padmi. Padmam haste vidyata iti. The one who holds a lotus in his hand. So, Padmam haste vidyate iti. So, the one who is adorned by the lotus. So, he is called as Padmi. So, all the qualities that are associated with Padma, we can see it in the Paramatman. So, we see the Paramatman as Padmanabha, Padmekshana, whose eyes are beautiful as lotus, and even Padma also stands for detachment, or Padmapatra stands for detachment. So all the glorious and beautiful qualities that are associated with the Padma are to be seen with the term Padmi, the one who holds the Padma, which stands for beauty and which also stands for detachment. So all these qualities are brought about through the term Padmi. Then Padmanibhekshanaha. Padmanibhe Ikshane Drishavasyeti. The one whose eyes resemble the lotus. So in the term we see Padma Nibha Ikshana. Ikshana is the eyes. Nibha, similar to Padma, lotus. So the one whose eyes are beautiful like the lotus. So the beautiful form of the Paramatman can be visualized through one of these namas, like Padmanibhekshana. Beautiful eyes, the one who is endowed with beautiful eyes like uh, the lotus. With these 10 terms in the 37th verse, we have thus far seen 345 namas. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.